single sport will be
I like that.
Welcome inside the
Studio.
locker room.
Well, here we are, ladies and gentlemen. We are inside the locker room where we get to discuss all that has been happening inside the sporting world. Tega is in the studio with us. You can send her love. You can send her flowers. You can send her donuts. Don't just send her thoughts, please. Good morning, Tega. How you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. Good morning, everybody. Yes, I'm sitting down today. I woke up this morning with some pains I haven't felt before. It appears that old age is knocking on the
No,
door.
it was just sadness manifesting.
Oh, okay.
That's all it was.
Yeah, I take that.
That is all
Yeah,
it is.
it's sadness started manifesting in my muscles. That's what I'm saying.
All right, make sure you catch us up on youtube.com/smooth981 FM Lagos.
Don't forget, you can also use the hashtag LockerRoom981. There's 2 R's in Locker Room for Twitter, okay? And send your messages to 0809-444-0981. Alrighty.
So let's start off with what has been happening inside of sports. And Jessica Pegula admitted on Tuesday that she felt helpless against ruthless world number 1 Ashley Barty, saying that she plays more like a guy. You feel pretty helpless, she said. And she went on to say, I think that when she gets into a rhythm, her game just kind of picks you apart a little bit. What is this, the Terminator of tennis?
I would say this, yes, when she does get into her rhythm, it's hard to break into it. But she has been in her rhythm from the very first match at the Australian Open this year. There are some days she comes in and she struggles a little with her first serves. She struggles a little period with her serves, and you get into her game and you can win it. I think so far this tournament, it's only Coco Gauff that was able to get a set of her. And that was the very first match she played.
Wow.
Yes.
So she was like, no, don't worry. You get this because it's my warm-up.
I mean, Coco Gauff was like, I'm 17. I can run. Can you? So I guess she that's the only person she's dropped a set against. After that, she's blitzed through
My
her
goodness.
matches. Now, Pegula is no easy feat to overcome. I expected this to be a tough one. Just to paint a picture, Pegula plays a little like Arina Sabalenka with some smarts. Sabalenka is just power hitting. Sometimes she doesn't think through her shots. Pegula has some thought process with her power hitting. The way that they bagel her in
no more brains and brawn.
I'm telling you, they
Coming at
bagel
you.
her in the second set.
Wow.
She was not around. The commentator said, this is a training session. This is not what we paid for. Like, no, we shouldn't be
Was
doing
that
this.
bad?
It was that
Oh my
bad.
goodness.
This girl, Pegula out-hit Maria Sakkari. If you remember Maria Sakkari, the lady that looks like the Greek goddess, all the muscles, packs her hair up, even her brows look
I
like the
the way
Greek
you
goddess
describe
of
the Greek
the.
goddess.
I'm telling you, she does look like a Greek. You know when they say they have Greek gods and she walks out, she's a perfect picture, and she's from Greece, so there's no other way to
Well,
put
that makes
it.
sense, huh?
So, but she was outpowered by Pegula.
Oh, wow.
But Pegula was steamrolled by Ashley Barty.
So remind us again, how old is Pegula?
Pegula is around about Ashley Barty's age, so about 23. So the same kind of.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, she's not. It's not.
It's balanced. It should be balanced.
It should not have been this bad. The beating was epic, and it's not like Pegula didn't try. You know, she brought her best for every best she brought.
Oh my, this is demoralizing.
Yeah.
What is she speaking like this?
She looked like she she didn't know how to answer. She looked drained in the press conference. So they asked her, she said, I was helpless. That's what she said. Like, you people should help me. You people should help me. It was a bad day. For Krejcikova against Madison Keys, it wasn't that. I mean, you would have expected a tougher match from that, but it wasn't that Madison Keys really blitzed through Krejcikova's good day. It was that Krejcikova had a bad day. She was struggling with the weather. She had to take some medication just before the first set started. So you knew she was struggling physically. And so when she came into the game, she couldn't find her first serve. She couldn't hit her forehand. Everything was off for her. And Madison Keys played excellently, but she blitzed through that one. But this one, Pegula brought her best. And she brought it. And Barty just swatted it like a fly. It was not a good day. So now Ashley Barty faces Madison Keys. So I want to see that power battle. So if she's still in her good form, because Madison Keys is in excellent form this January, I don't know what she said to motivate herself, but since the turn of the year, she's just dropped all the pressure and the weight of being a young girl that should have been a superstar and hasn't been, and she's been playing excellent tennis. So that will be a good matchup. And the second matchup
I think
is
hold on, that first matchup. I think there might be a need for a little bit of prayer because when somebody is like, "Oh, I've talked myself into this," and then you now meet Ashley Barty and
well, Ashibati too could have a bad day. So. But she shouldn't. She better not have a bad day. Now you always root for Ashibati.
But not like so good that this.
Yeah, she was. It was bad. Pegula really did look helpless, even in the press conference after the match.
Oh, wow.
After the match and a shower.
Just really crying and thinking about it.
Please,
She was thinking about her eyes were still red.
We want Madison Keys to have her words by the end of this thing, okay? But yeah, second matchup you were
the
saying.
second matchup is going to be Iga Swiatek. Amazing. She won the French Open in 2020. Amazing, lovely girl. That's another person I support. So you can see how my voice has become softer. But this 20-year-old gets on court with Kaya Kanepi. Now, Kaya Kanepi may not be a highly ranked player because she's always had injury struggles and all, but she's such a power hitter. And she also has caused major upsets at this tournament. She came in today, she won the first set. And let me tell you how it was. I left my house when Kaya Kanepi won the first set. By the time I got to the studio, she was losing the first set to Iga Swiatek. That's how quickly Iga Swiatek recovered. and then the third set, it was Iga Swiatek just breaking Kaya Kanepi one game after the other. It was beautiful to see her recover, to see her fighting spirit, because she's not much of a power hitter. It's just she places her shots very well. She moves around the court beautifully without any problems, and she doesn't put pressure on herself. You see all this, you're a wonder kid. You've won a Grand Slam. We're waiting for it. She doesn't have it. She doesn't. She has no pressure whatsoever.
Like, I just want to play.
She's like, you guys should carry your hand and go.
It's too soon to determine who's going to.
Yeah, it's too soon with the WTA. You cannot determine because if you pick a horse in the race, it's the day you pick the horse that the horse will crash out of the race. So, but the next one is Iga Swiatek taking on this lady that just took out Alice Cornet like she was not there. Danielle Collins. Now, Danielle Collins is one of the ladylike, pretty people that come on the court, swishing her hips. When she holds a racket, she doesn't swish any hips. She hits it really hard. So it's a Danielle Collins, Iga Swiatek matchup against, and then Ashley Barty, Madison Keys for the semifinals of the women's draw.
All right, now it's not just women at the Australian Open. We've got more for you, a lot more coming up in sports. So just to give you a taste of what's to come and to make sure that you send your messages into 0809 444 0981. We'll be reading we'll be giving you some of these news. Rafael Nadal receives preferential treatment, says Denis Shapovalov. Will compensate Nigerians with World Cup tickets. That's Moses Simon saying, listen, you guys, allow us. We're going to try for you. We know we did wrong. We're sorry. We'll compensate you. Quarterfinal at Olembe Stadium to be moved after fatal crash. Oh my goodness. That thing was just a thing of sadness. And unconvincing Senegal beat Cape Verde to reach quarters. That's more news coming up. Martial completes loan switch from Man United to Sevilla, and Watford appoint former England boss as new manager. And also Denmark midfielder training with Ajax to build up fitness.
Yeah, he really wants to go to the World Cup. But let's get back to the Rafa Nadal story about the preferential.
Okay, so well, they're saying that he's been given 100% preferential treatment by umpires. This is what Denis Shapovalov is saying after his defeat by the Spaniard in the Australian Open quarterfinals. And he says, a quote here says, "I think it's unfair how much Rafa is getting away with." But Rafa's responding. He's saying, "I believe he's wrong in this case."
Okay, so I will tell you, truth be told, Rafa Nadal does take time between points. By the time he arranges the few strands of hair so that his balding doesn't show, and then adjusts his shirt and then pulls out his shorts from his board, by the time he does all that, time has gone.
But that's his process.
Yeah, so he has that nice process that he built up. But what it does is it takes time. And if you're playing against him, even umpires are ready for him. However, yesterday, it was a little tricky. He added some more time to his beauty routine. That's what I'm going to call it, because he wins the first set. He's about to start second set. You know how he does? He drinks the water, the energy drink, then he places it right on the same the
symmetry.
same cup mark.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. He cannot form a new cup. He places it right on the same water mark, on the same
He's a
one.
very meticulous guy.
And then he
That's one
arranges
word
his
for
bag,
it.
arranges so he was taking his time. And Shapovalov was just upset that he has lost the first set. And he's waiting to play. And he's hopping around like the young boy that he is. And this old man is just taking his time to do stuff. He keeps quiet. Then Dennis loses Shapovalov loses the second set. And Nadal now takes a toilet break
Oh, wow.
to change his outfit from top to bottom. Usually, remember that thing they were fighting Tsitsipas for doing last year? That's what Nadal does with 2.0. So he goes in, takes a toilet break, he comes back out, and then by the time he comes back out, he still takes his time to arrange all the things he brought in from the toilet.
But is this normal?
God.
That's how he does.
Look,
That's
is
his
this
process.
supposed to be normal
It's
for
not-
a tennis game?
No,
Isn't
this is
Nadal
Nadal normal. So he does this, and then of course, Denis Shapovalov is upset because he wants to start the third set. That he has lost 2 sets. Let's start this third set so I'll get to play. And then Nadal is taking his time to get to the line, and then he starts doing his beauty routine. And by the time he starts bouncing the ball, Shapovalov is just like, Carlos Benedes, please, you should give me a time code. I mean, he's wasting. It's a time violation. He's wasting time. Benedes was like, the clock is still counting down. What do you want me to do? And then Dennis shouts, "You're all corrupt!" And everybody just goes
Oh my
silent.
God.
Like, no, he
But
didn't
he
say
said
that
that.
out loud. Yes. Yeah. Now, in the press conference, he came back and said that was just his emotions talking, that he didn't mean to say that.
It was in
But
the
the
heat of
truth,
the moment.
yeah, but the truth of the matter is that he does get preferential treatment. And he does. Because again, after Dennis now goes on to win the 3rd and 4th set, and Dennis is with the momentum. Then Rafael Nadal calls for a medical timeout,
Oh, wow.
claiming that he has a stomach bug.
That guy
Okay.
I don't like him anymore.
No, he's great. He's
I
a great.
like him.
I mean, because even when
He's a
Dennis started
cheat.
shouting on the other side, he walks over to Dennis and says, "What are you doing? Calm down now." You know, he talks to him, and Dennis is calm, but Dennis is angry with the umpire. Because I can't shout at Nadal. He's a nice guy. But you are the umpire. You should judge this
Come
thing
on,
fairly.
man.
You know? And then so Dennis has the momentum. He's 1-2 sets. They're going to the final deciding 5th set. Nadal takes another medical timeout. Notice I said another because it's the second one. And then after the medical timeout, he goes to take a toilet break to change his
come
outfit.
on.
So it's about 15 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes in between
And
the
you know when you're
Sorry,
in
I
the
want-
moment.
yes, and then he comes back and he beats Shapovalov.
How long is the game?
Do you understand? And he comes back and he beats Shapovalov. So Shapovalov's like, my momentum is gone because I'm here bouncing out, walking, stretching, so that I'm still, active. And this guy is taking time to meditate. I mean, like what was happening here? So it's not nice. And Rafa Nadal needs to understand that he needs to have a better spirit of sportsmanship. However, he did not break any laws. Because when he went to take the toilet break, they were counting down the time for him. And he took 2 toilet breaks. So my question is, why can they take 2 toilet breaks? It's
How
not like
long
they've
is
been
this
playing
time?
for 6 hours. Do you understand? So again, he's not breaking any law. He just pushes the law to the extreme.
Has he met anybody who has done that to him?
I'm hoping that he meets Tsitsipas because Tsitsipas has won his match. I'm hoping that at some point in this Australian tournament he meets Tsitsipas. Tsitsipas is another toilet break guy.
Yeah, we have a 24
I'm telling
hour
you,
tennis match.
and his hair is full, so he takes time to arrange it. So I'm waiting for him to meet his boss. Maybe if he gets a dose of his own medicine, he will calm down.
All right, we've got to take a very quick break, but not before we take some of those messages. Up on WhatsApp, Oluwakemi says, "Good morning, Tiger. Please, what is Moses Simon saying? Which World Cup qualifiers? The same World Cup that we can't win." Watford hiring Roy Hodgson is a bad decision. Roy Hodgson's time has passed in the EPL.
I agree.
Whilst this one coming in from Tosin, who says showmanship and sportsmanship. Rafael Nadal from Tosin Baba. More messages, but also less time. So this part of the locker room was brought to you by BetKing. Coming up, we've got more still inside the locker room.
Oh, no.
Love life.
He said, Rafa Nadal Tsitsipas one. I want to see.
It's
Tsitsipas
AFCON
just
season,
going to.
and
I
that
think
is the
Djokovic do
season
that.
to celebrate
No,
African
Djokovic just
pride
he
and
stretches and
unity
wastes
through
time. Everybody
football.
does something.
Now, BetKing, your leading sport and digital entertainment company, will be rewarding its
No,
customers
I mean,
with
it's just-
mouth-watering
Rafa Nadal,
prizes.
he's not-
That is
he's
over
not-
that was a bit
100
much,
million
He does it. He does it to
in
the
the
time
AFCON
limit.
promotion.
Like you can't
And
say
that
he's
includes an
wrong.
all
You can say
trip for
you can't
4
say he's
people to watch
legally
AFCON
wrong.
finals
but
live.
it's
Betting
Morally
online and
socially
offline
wrong.
customers
How
stand
long
a
is
chance
it
to win
celebrated
smart
this
TV
week for?
sets,
No,
PlayStation 5
celebrate is
consoles,
literally
free
supposed to be for
betting
how long
credits,
Nadal takes it. But he
smartphones,
took
and the
twice.
grand prize
Like
of a
how many
JHC
pieces catching you
S2
in 3 hours?
SUV for 3 lucky customers through the
Let's check
weekly
out
raffle draws.
what's up.
The
Why are we
AFCON
up
promotion
on-
is
So-
open to new
Why are
and
we using-
existing BetKing
Oh,
customer
crap.
and is only available on Sportsbook. Virtual games and simulated reality are not included. To participate in the
Oh,
BetKing
come on.
AFCON promotion,
I was
BetKing
wondering
customers
when
are
they were not
required
serious.
to place a
Okay,
bet
stop
of a
it.
minimum of 500 naira on an accumulator with at least 5 selections at 1.20 odds per selection.
I was
The
wondering why they're
bet
not
must
seeing
include
us.
one African Cup of Nations 2021 event, among other terms and conditions,
will be
which are
on the